what we're seeing just out of the gate with a few of those experiments is an immediate 10% lift in overall revenue just by adding an SMS.
When it comes to e-commerce specifically, what is this process that you walk them through before they even consider SMS or email marketing or even transitioning from, let's say, a retail setting to online e-commerce?
Yeah, so if we just focused in on SMS and you're not doing it already, first and foremost, you have to get consent to be able to send them, effective communication. You have to get, privacy and having them opt in. So that's a big lift where you might have a large database, but they've only opted into email. And so you need to be able to send them emails to be able to get them to opt in to any type of SMS or text communication. So that's really critical. Number one is to make sure you have consent, that you're able to communicate effectively with them and they've opted in. And then two, what we do a lot of times is we try and just simplify the process. And we want to get the brand thinking about what emails are you sending already that we could experiment and be able to try with SMS. And that's where I'm a big advocate of Klaviyo, because it's all centralized, where if you're sending them emails already, adding SMS is very simple, where you could use other tools like Attentive or PostScript or Yotpo, but to get that data into Klaviyo can be a little bit challenging. So with Klaviyo, it's like one click of a button, you get the consent, and then you could try it. And it's like anything that you would think to send an email. We've done tons of experiments of like shopping cart abandonment. Instead of sending an email, let's try it through a text. Welcome series, welcoming them to the brand. What if we did that as an SMS versus, kind of an email? Maybe it's a Black Friday sale as a campaign, more specific newsletter. Let's run a split test and be able to compare, what do we see in terms of, click-through rate? What do we see in terms of overall revenue? And a lot of times it's pretty remarkable what you see. And I think, again, you see a lot of the online behavior being 60, 70% of mobile. So something that has a little bit more urgency or recency, where it's a flash sale, where it is transactional communication of like delivery, shipping notifications, abandoned cart that, a deal may expire or might run out of stock. You can do, and it's really neat, where you could just run a quick experiment of like, let's just 50% of people get this email, 50% of these people get a text, and let's just see how the flow performs and what is the impact. And what we're seeing just out of the gate with a few of those experiments is an immediate 10% lift in overall revenue just by adding an SMS. But we're able to, the more you segment and the more you contextualize, I think the communication, we're seeing as high as 20 to 30%. I think consumers, if you can build that brand affinity and a little bit of that loyalty and do it in a thoughtful way, it can just be a really, really powerful vehicle. So yeah, consent first, start running some of these experiments, trying and just, have an apples to apples type of comparison. And then you can start having fun with it, inserting GIFs, inserting more conversational tone, figuring out how it can be a little bit more fun. But it's a really effective sales channel for a lot of the brands that we work with.